Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I'm George. We're all George. There are some big news I gotta cover and why these moves will definitely help Bitcoin and crypto. So let's talk about, here's another state, Iowa, that wants to join in on the fun on top of the other 22 states now that are looking to introduce Bitcoin. Okay, a Bitcoin strategic reserve. So you got every single state looking to get in. So this is compounding on top of the ETFs. And of course, you have Big Daddy Sailor with strategy that continues to buy more and more and more. And him and the other companies around the world that now have their own Bitcoin strategy that continues to raise and buy more and more and more and more. In fact, Sailor just said, hey, I believe there's only one nation state that should buy up 20% of the supply. I think it should be the United States. I think it will be the United States. That's kind of crazy, though. Kind of crazy. And I saw Van Eck actually say that if the U.S., because Trump mentioned about buying Bitcoin and paying off the national deficit with it, Van Eck predicted that if the United States was serious about that, we would have to buy 25% of supply. If we did that, eventually that would be enough to pay off the national deficit. If you think about it, that's pretty crazy. First of all, buying 25% of supply is doable right now at its current prices. But like in 10 years, 20 years, if it could actually appreciate enough to pay off the national deficit, that's crazy. That's crazy. But by then, you don't want the government to sell off 25% of the supply at one time. That would cause a massive crash. But anyways, that's interesting. But I do think once the U.S. starts stockpiling Bitcoin, the other countries will follow too. That's a no-brainer. Russia and China's right behind Brazil and everyone else, the Latin American countries, Middle East, especially Middle East, European countries, Asia, they probably started already. Everyone is going to be jumping in. No doubt about it. And by the way, people have asked about this, but a lot of you guys want to go to the Bitcoin conference this year, and this year's in Vegas. So Sailor's going to be speaking, I will be attending, and there's a lot of other people. So yeah, if you're going to go, I do have a discount code. So in the description, I have a link. If you want to go, use my link and you'll get 10% off. So people have asked that before, if there's a coupon code. There is. And it's in Vegas this year. So Vegas, there's always a glamour to that, the Sin City. Just wanted to let you guys know. Trump, he did make his promise that he will make crypto great in the U.S. And some of these moves, may not seem like they're crypto related, okay? And they're not. But a lot of these moves are getting people very excited about being American, about being a crypto company in America, and a lot of the appointees, right, like Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary, for example, okay, someone that has really, shouldn't have anything to do with crypto, but he is, because he's the one in charge of the tariffs and income generation and supplementing the IRS if it gets abolished. This guy loaded up on billions and billions of dollars of worth of crypto before he was appointed. So that tells you something, right? You go by his actions, not by his words. If he loaded up on MicroStrategy, Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin itself by the billions before he got appointed. What do you think? Right? What do you think? And something else that Trump has done that has helped crypto already is, first of all, he caused Gary Gensler to resign. And second of all, his new acting chair is already making moves. Look at this. This is breaking news. This just came out not too long ago. So the SEC voluntarily dismissed its own appeal over a case where it was trying to have jurisdiction over decentralized crypto protocols, which made no sense in the first place. But this is the type of stuff that Gary was trying to do. Okay, so because of the new acting chair, SEC is changing, saying, hey, we have no jurisdiction over decentralized protocols. So, you know, back in the day, we were worried about wallet makers being attacked and implementing KYC. That pretty much goes away, right? What about DEXs? You know, that pretty much goes away. Like the cases against Uniswap and others probably will go away. Unless there's really foul play that they could detect, right? But overall, if it's a DEX and it's operated by smart contracts and there's no central authority that's making any moves on it, how can you attack them, right? How can you prosecute them? So this is big too. So things are moving. Things are moving in a good way for Bitcoin and crypto right now. But there's a lot of things that's happening in the US. A lot of things happening. Whether all this amounts, you know, all the things that Trump is doing is going to fix the system, don't know. But you know what? The way I've always said it, the way to opt out of shenanigans, the way to opt out of fiat, the way to opt out of our financial system is to opt into Bitcoin. And I think all of you guys know that, or maybe some of you guys know that, okay? Because every single government around the world, every single central bank around the world, they are led by humans, and humans are inherently greedy and irresponsible and power hungry, and eventually they make the wrong moves. And that's why all fiats fail. That's why there's always infinite inflation, and that's why your hard-earned money basically disappears over time, because every single government and every single central bank around the world occurs debt, and it's never ending, and then it's a vicious cycle of printing money and accruing debt, printing money, accruing debt, and inflation goes on forever, and your hard-earned money dissipates to zero. Okay, that's why you want to have Bitcoin.